And we're back with yet another episode of the MMMtg podcast. It is now season 2, episode 4, and as always, it is me, Miles, and I am joined with my associates.
Friendly.
Hi.
And I, yet again, Angel. I think the last podcast we made a joke that was like Angel, like iRobot, and I forgot to do the funny Photoshop for that, so I think this time, hopefully, by me talking about it longer, I will make the funny Photoshop of Angel. I think some of our earlier podcasts had a lot of Photoshops in them.
I think that's the point.
It takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, but who
It
cares?
takes a lot of time.
We only put out like one video a week. It's fine.
We actually, I've been feeling pretty good about that. We were pretty erratic before with the uploads. Maybe two. Sometimes it was like 2 or 3
'Cause we
in
got
1 week,
stuff
and
to
then
do.
we got stuff to. Yeah, exactly.
We have lives, okay?
That, you know what?
Sadly, we have lives.
Some of us might have lives. Who doesn't? I'll leave that up to the audience.
That'd be me. I just play Sea of Thieves all day.
Okay, all right. That's a life. That's a life.
No,
that's
not.
a pirate's life.
It's not, it doesn't feel good, bro.
But yeah, as I was saying, we were pretty erratic before. 3 here, 0 for a few weeks, and 3 more, and then 1, and then whatever. So, but now we got a pretty consistent schedule going, and we've got a bit of a backlog. So I'm pretty confident we're going to be getting that 1 a week category. Hopefully 2 a week eventually, but 1 a week for now, and I think we're doing pretty well about it. We just finished up our 6-part miniseries. We recorded it, and I have it all edited, and it's coming out week by week. But as of the time of recording, I believe we're up to the 4th part, the first round, where me and Angel played. I mean, while we're on it, why don't we talk about that? Angel, what was your experience? How did you feel about that experience with the mini pre-release?
I don't even remember.
Oh, it's all blurred. Okay.
I know what my experience was.
And Fernie knows, yeah. Fernie, what was your experience with the mini pre-release?
I feel like if I say anything, I give it all away. I mean,
Well, at this point, obviously some people haven't, but hopefully if you're following the channel, you've seen where we are. You don't have to give like big spoilers, but I don't know, because I thought it was kind of cool. It's not exactly the normal tournament experience, but it was kind of nice just to have your much time.
my deck was made very well. I mean, the whole thing felt nice to play with.
It's not something that is a typical strategy.
It's not
that
a
I've
staple.
seen.
No.
Like from the Theros limited format, like Teamer, I haven't seen that combination come up except for when Fernley did it, and then it was just excellent. And I've never seen it because I do the ranked drafts often when I get a chance. I love it because you can just sit down, do maybe just the drafting, leave, come back to the games or whatever. So I've been doing that a lot, but I've never seen it. Never seen Teamer. I've seen blue green a few times. You see like red blue a lot, or you see like red green a lot, but it's like Teamer is like
Never
you
the
see band a lot, huh?
Never the trippy.
Never the trippy with red. Trippy
No,
red.
never.
I tried to make the trippy red joke, didn't work.
No.
You know what? Fell right on my face. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. Hopefully everybody's enjoying that. It was pretty fun. It's definitely a different experience. Like when you're in the pre-release for like an actual tournament, you get that 15-minute window, but you're like not talking. You're in your head and you're just sorting this while I'm doing it. But then you're behind the camera, like, man, I gotta talk. I gotta
talk.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm building.
This is how it works, and this is what I hope it does, and that's it.
Hey, you guys each got a comment on your videos. I saw that. I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get a comment. I feel so sad.
We know the crowd favorites now.
Exactly. I think that Fernley, you got a comment that said awesome content, and I think Angel, you got one that just said lovely video. And they're all from They're both from channels that had like a lot of views. I'm not sure what that was because there was like the one that commented on Fernley's. I think it was like a Fortnite YouTube channel, like 90,000.
Dude, I'll play Fortnite. Let's get it done.
Hey, for that compliment, I'll play Fortnite.
I don't know how to record
I'm gonna say you just be surprised because maybe it's just like also the algorithm working.
Yeah, I've seen some weird stuff sometimes. Like I'm really happy about that, knowing that our content it would be getting pushed around.
I
by
think
the algorithm.
YouTube likes longer videos right now. I think
that's good for us. All our stuff is just like way too long. I think at one time it was shorter videos.
Yeah.
And I thought about trying to make some smaller content. We did a little bit. We tried to get some more condensed stuff, but just the nature of the things we do, it ends up being really, like, everything we do ends up being really long, you know?
Like, when I think about it, it's like, when I watch YouTube, it's just really long videos. Like,
Yeah.
I just like hour-long podcasts and stuff because it's just easier to do stuff while listening to that kind of thing.
And it's kind of tough with Magic because, like, the channels where you do watch a shorter thing, like the really big ones, which are fine channels and everything, like game nights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they make those short YouTube videos, but you're A, not seeing the whole game, and B, it's like scripted. So it's like you're not seeing every turn because that's kind of it can get drag on if you're not really intending to watch that long of a video. And I think they have said before that they script some of the stuff for most of it to make sure that there's actually an interesting interactive game that kind of goes faster. We don't really want to do that at all. Like we're doing, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also that's not playing Magic, right? We're doing what we love. We love playing Magic. We love building decks and playing against them and just sitting down at the table having a good time, and we just want to capture that.
Yeah.
And really, scripting stuff is just kind of, that's something completely different.
Magic isn't always great.
Yeah, it happens.
You're always gonna have those games where just nothing happens.
Oh my god, so many times where I sit down and like we're trying to record Theros Rank Draft. I have my microphone next to my computer always. I sit down, I have some time, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record myself, and I'm gonna do some commentary. I think I put one up maybe a month or two ago of me playing a Ravnica Allegiance draft. I was doing commentary, and it was great. It was fun, but like I've recorded like so many of them where I'm recording, and then halfway through, you run into 3 games where it's just like you get mana screwed and nothing happens. I'm like sitting there, I'm trying to talk about it and have commentary, but I'm like, yep, all right, another land, okay, yeah, oh, and there's another land, and but that's what it is. So it definitely makes it so when we do get content, even if it's like an hour and a half long, it's like, you know what, that's what we're putting up.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate everyone who watches. Like our views aren't that high right now, but our watch time is like astronomical. I can see on the YouTube analytics. So I don't know if we're supposed to talk about this or not, but
who cares?
It's got like hundreds of hours of watch time because it's like for each person that watches it, granted that they're watching the whole thing, that's like an entire over an hour. So it's pretty cool, and I like that it's getting shown around. I actually myself got another channel that's very small, just like ours. That's just like, I think it's just one person, but it's just a guy on his camera, and he's just recording himself loading boxes, and he's just going at it, and it's definitely something that a lot of people they want to do. They want to do the whole YouTube thing. And it's really a great thing. It's a great hobby, and it helps us stay connected with Magic and stuff. But it's kind of hard, just putting yourself out there, especially when it probably takes a while for you to, get an audience or feel that you're doing it right and everything. But we just like doing it. I'm glad that guy's video is getting shown around the algorithm, and I'm glad that ours is too. I think the other guy was Obsidian Core TV. I think that's what it was. I dropped a comment on his video. Maybe you can go back on my channel and see that in the history or something. But yeah, it was a nice video, and he was opening some packs, and I really encourage anyone that if they have the time to go check him out, because it's cool seeing other people doing this kind of thing, And yeah, that's really it. So long spiel for the intro. Words. Before we go into the news, anything else you guys want to talk about, just with Magic in general? You guys do anything interesting recently?
No.
No.
Not at all. I play another game now.
Playing a lot of Arena, like a lot. Ever since I actually started an account.
You caught the Arena bug?
Yes. So that's been fun. All I've been doing is like drafts because they don't even have a collection. So I've just been building it.
That's how you do it.
I did like one sealed event recently. I think it was like 6-pack war.
6-pack war.
War of the Spark.
Just sealed.
That was.
When was that?
That was recently. I think it's still on. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, for like a few more hours.
Okay.
Another day.
I'm not gonna go into that.
No, screw the podcast.
I've been
Let's go do that.
I gotta play Arena. I've been just playing the Theros Rank Drafts. I can't get enough of that. It's such a great format. It's so fun.
I haven't booted up my laptop in like 2 years.
I have a lot of time on that.
Farley has like Bitcoins in there. He's too lazy to go get them out. He's like, I just don't want to turn it on.
Exactly. I just want to sit on my Xbox and just watch numbers go up. That's it.
I don't care about my real life bank account. I just want to watch
No.
the Xbox numbers go. Fernie's like watching the clock on the little time in the corner.
Reset it.
It's like, oh no, it's gonna be 12-8. No. Oh man, it's already like 12:01. Man. Anyway, if you guys have anything else Magic related to talk about, as opposed to
Where's the Magic movie, bro?
Right.
Where's the
Dang,
Magic show?
man,
Where's the Magic movie?
Yeah.
Where's the
They
stuff
are making
we
the
were
Magic
promised?
show. I think that's still in progress. But
Where was it?
where was it? It was nowhere. It doesn't exist.
It needs to exist now.
Anyway, without further ado, and not with wasting too much time.
This is a
How
podcast.
much
This is
of
nothing
time
but
did
wasting.
we- How much time did we just go over?
I think
all
we
this?
were about
cares?
if my timepiece is accurate, which
It's a
which it's an
podcast.
80s watch.
It's a
of course it's
podcast. No
accurate.
cuts, no butts. We're just talking. That's
All right,
the
let's just
point.
go. Let's just go.
All right, Fernie, thank you for whatever that was. Without further ado, we're going to go into the news because we have a lot of news to talk about. The first thing on the docket is the International Women's Day Secret Lair. I'm talking about that first because today is International Women's Day.
You bought it.
And I bought it. I definitely bought that product. So before we talk about that, International Women's Day, I think you all know what it is. If you don't know, I'll put a little Wikipedia
Why
snippet
not?
right here. But in honor of International Women's Day, the Wizards of the Coast created they call it philanthropic secret lair, which means that they're going to donate some of the proceeds to some charities. I don't recall at this moment what it is. I definitely forgot to write that down. Might have been Girl Scouts of America, but I don't know. But yeah, it's just five cards. There are different woman characters from across Magic. They have new foil, full art, alternate art versions that you can buy for limited time. If you're somehow watching this and you're a time traveler, you can go back and order it only for today. But if you're not a time traveler, you have to get it on the secondary market. Except for me, I bought one. I am a time traveler, but that's irrelevant. Wow. Yeah, so I'll try and put the arts of the cards on the screen right now. I'm picking it up. I'm only picking it up for the Narset. Did you guys see any of the cards in there that you cared about?
Oh, did you want to go over real quick which ones are in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna put them on the screen.
Okay,
They should be
okay,
there.
yeah.
But if I somehow forgot, which that does happen.
Okay.
There's Narset, Enlightened Master. There's Una, Queen of the Fae. There's Marin of Clan Neltoth. And there is Saskia the Unyielding. And did I miss any for
Captain Sisse.
Captain Sisse, yes. So it's 5 cards, right? 6 cards?
It's 1, 2, 3,
Should be
4, 5, 6.
Oh, it is.
Gotcha. You got me too. It's all right. Anyway.
I looked at, I Googled it immediately after you're like, I didn't pull up anything on this.
Yeah.
It's like, don't worry, I got
I
it.
write so much stuff down, but whenever it comes down to something actually important, I just don't write it. I just always forget. But anyway,
Anyway,
yeah. So I think they look really cool. I don't really play any of those other cards, so I just wanted the Narset. So honestly, it's a pretty expensive Narset for $50. But the other ones are cool, and the values are crazy. All the secret layers, it's like I don't know. It's almost like you can't really lose if you buy. Is any of them not gone up a lot in value or immediately being resold for a lot?
I think pretty much. I think they're like the Comic-Con things, the promos where if you buy it immediately, you can probably flip it immediately for profit.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
lot
not
to
sure
talk
about the
there.
long-term effects of it. I'm assuming it's actually going to be going up in value, just naturally because it is just whoever actually orders it will get it.
Uh-huh.
And I know some people have ordered it though, and it's still on back order.
Oh, for the old ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, someone was telling me about that the other day.
It's like a
depending on where you are or what order in the line you were, you just not gonna get it.
yeah, because I know someone that already has their Year of the Rat ones,
Mhm.
and then I know someone that's waiting on theirs, but it hasn't even shipped yet, and some people also have the Theros ones, and they're waiting on that.
What amazing organizational strategy right there. Just we're not gonna pre-make these, and you order them, we're gonna print them.
But the printer should be open because I think they actually canceled some of the orders for the collector edition of the Ikoria.
Really?
Yeah, because of what happened
What?
with
What happened?
with the Theros ones, with the whole collapse kind of with the Theros prices and all that. So they cut back on.
Please enlighten us. Let's roll it back.
Yeah.
I'm
Roll
getting
back.
the
Oh.
stopwatch, the clock. I'm turning the dial back. You lost me. I think Fernley was lost before he walked in the door. But
I was doing research.
let's try and get maybe me in the audience and hopefully.
Do I have to do more research?
So what is going on? Take us back.
So I remember how Theros, when the set released, everything just pretty much just dropped in price. Like everything, all the cards in the set all the cards in the set aren't really worth as much.
because
Like
because of all
Beyond
the
Death, just
special.
normal set cards. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And you know how the reason why is kind of people say the collector edition just crushed the price so hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in response to that was just pretty much, I believe they went over and they canceled some of the printings,
For Ikoria's
the collector's
edition.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're making less collector's edition of Ikoria to make sure that people actually want to buy Ikoria, the normal set.
Yeah, because
Well, it sounds like they just want to sell more of the collectors.
Well, it's weird. It's like it's kind of like a good point. It's like they're selling a box of just all the good stuff from the Ikoria box. It's like, why would you buy the Ikoria box?
That's why it's good and it's bad because for the Theros one, they're still losing. I think they're just losing money too on the boxes because it's not. I don't know how much they actually put into it, what their actual cost is, but they're losing money on putting on those boxes. And the collector's edition is just cannibalizing their own sales, pretty much.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it? They're
They've
just overall better cards.
Honestly, I feel that they're just trying stuff out right now,
Yeah.
and they've been doing so many new different kinds of products in all different kinds of ways. I think that like they're somehow internally inside Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, they decided that not enough money was being made, or maybe it was after one of those big issues that happened in the past few years, and they're like, well, we need to find some new product mix that we can make the most money in. So they're trying a bunch of things out, and they're willing to take these losses and risks so that they can figure out which products make the most money, so they can just move on with that as the general line, because they've been doing so much random stuff recently. Like,
I'm curious how much they're actually going to sell, though, for the Ikoria, because I know because of all the secret layers coming out, because if everyone's just busy buying that too, it's like how much is it going to affect
like
that?
a
Mystery Boosters is also coming out soon.
I already
God.
pre-ordered 2 boxes of that. I already pre-ordered 2 boxes of that stuff.
yeah, we can talk about the mystery boosters in a second. We used to talk about the mystery boosters, but yeah, that's another thing that they just make us so many random products, like all kinds of like anthologies and commanders and game nights.
It's cool.
And Mythic Edition before, and now it's collectors boosters and the secret layers direct to consumer.
Do you think
they're
they'll
just trying to figure stuff out?
I think they'll just make some of the other stuff, other products like underprinted, so then those ones will actually be worth more in the future.
What kind of products?
Just like any other products.
Oh, you're saying they should try making more?
Because if they make more products, then most likely they're gonna start underprinting some of the stuff, so like some of the standard sets maybe, or some other products like the Commander stuff.
They should just reprint one copy of Black Lotus in like gold foil. Like they foil it with actual gold and
Come
then
on.
just sell it for like $1 billion.
Do a Pokemon. It's solid gold, Black Lotus.
Exactly.
Solid gold.
And then just sell it.
Black
Like
loaded.
they
Well,
can
I mean,
restrict
they
the
did
supply
They did
so
Pikachu,
low.
but, you know.
Well, restrict the supply.
They're-
Restrict the
they're-
supply.
What if they just get it etched in like onyx or something? Because it's a black lotus.
No, that's what they start doing for.
They should etch it with a copy of Onyx from Pokemon. Just the card. Anyway,
Just the
we did mention mystery boosters briefly, and that was
Yeah.
another thing on our
No.
news. So I mean, we should go
No.
into
No. I bought some. That's
well.
it.
No segue.
Wait,
The
you'll
only
see
news
later.
that you need to know about mystery boosters is that Fernley has 2 of them soon.
I have 2 boxes soon, and we might not open it, or we will open it.
All right, we're kind of on the fence about that.
We're on the fence.
But anyway, mystery boosters, if you haven't heard about those, is a new-ish, kind of half-new product. They were releasing them before at conventions with special convention boosters, and now they're going to release a slightly different, but pretty much the same product in your local game store. You can find that soon. I believe that's March 15th or somewhere around there.
Something like that.
Something like that.
How many packs?
How many packs? 24 packs per box,
Doesn't
but it's around the same price as a box.
Doesn't matter to me.
They will, even if they sold me a box that had 1 card in it and it was a Black Lotus and a gold, I want to photo. I have to Photoshop it. Oh man,
You're just
I
gonna
make
keep
so much
waving
work
it
for
around the
myself.
screen.
just like a Photoshop of a hand holding a Black Lotus that's made of gold.
Exactly.
That'd be terrible.
What if it's just made of butter instead?
It's just a stick of
It's
butter. You open up like a magic booster box and there's like a stick of butter that they Sharpie Black Lotus on like the paper wrapping of the butter.
Exactly.
And that's it. And the $1 billion price.
You have to,
Imagine
like,
opening
freeze
that
it.
on a hot day.
That's just like how you're not supposed to store the magic cards in like a humid environment. You can't store the
in any
you
environment.
you can't store it at all. You have to.
You just
open
gotta
it.
like freeze it and leave it there.
Would it be like one of those things that it's like no one ever holds on to them because it's like years later when they're like 5 years old and out of print. When you open a pack, it's just like a pack of mold.
Out of print butter.
When you
Look at that.
You know, it's just
Look
like
at
a
that
moldy
butter.
piece of butter inside the pack, and when like all the cars are like moldy too from like the butter being in there.
There's no car. It's just the butter.
It's
just
just
it's
a
just
butter.
box.
It's just
It's
mold.
not a box topper. This is a box with a stick
It's
of
just
butter.
a box with a random thing, and the butter is the best thing that you could get.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, we were talking about
You
mystery
could get
boosters.
shoes.
Speaking of getting a mystery in your box, mystery boosters. I'll put the list of the kinds of things that you can pull in it on the screen now. It's just basically all kinds of cards from the history of Magic in different aspects. Each slot has a different time frame. We don't really need to get into that right now. It's not important. Basically, you open a pack, you're going to get a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff, and it's basically a set meant for Chaos Draft.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's like, why would you need to go buy 6 packs from a bunch of different vendors and stuff when you can just open one pack that encompasses all packs?
Because it's really fun to go to every vendor and be like, yeah,
That's true.
what's
That's
this?
true. But
It's really cool to go through that history of Magic
Yeah.
and be like, oh, look, they got all these cards here, too. Like, oh, look. It's like, I used to play with those cards. And you're like, oh, this booster might get something cool.
And you pull something really expensive and you sell it and you
Yeah.
buy a box that has a butter in it.
It's like every time we go over to a certain place, and I'm like, we should buy Fate boosters to see if we can get an Ugin.
I'm convinced Ugin doesn't exist.
Eugene doesn't exist.
You'll never pull him out of a pack.
I want Eugene in my life. I want him back.
Yeah, but did you guys have anything to say about mystery boosters before? Unless we're just covering it. Or...
I want to open it, but I also want.
Good. We might open. Maybe we open one for
I
the
want
channel.
to save
I
it
don't
for
know.
profits as well.
Okay. I like mystery boosters, but I also like money.
We could do a big old draft if we get enough.
We can do
people.
We can do a mystery seal.
Ooh.
Just how we did the 6-part miniseries for their Like, why not just do it as a seal?
Yeah.
Good.
Why not?
Maybe we could get somebody else in if we had the opportunity, but I don't know.
We
else
get
would
somebody
come
who doesn't
record
play
this.
Magic.
Special
we should get
guest.
Leo.
Get Leo to play.
We got Leo. Actually, special guest.
Oh man! Whoa! Hey, it took me a second.
It's 2020.
I was just remembering that an episode of the podcast that we have to record soon is that we actually our season 2 episode 3 that we had last week, or not the last episode we did. We actually recorded a different episode 3.
With
The
Leo.
last.
Yeah, it's like a lost episode. There was some issues with the audio, and we just couldn't use it. But that had Leo in it. Leo is one of our friends who doesn't play Magic, and we were talking to him to try and get like an outside perspective, and kind of like let us see what Magic and all this looks like to someone who doesn't play, and then kind of like understand. I don't know, just the dynamics around it and the way people see Magic players in general, and then also just we had him help us make some custom cards just for fun.
From a man who, instead of spending all of his money on Magic cards, spends his money on PewDiePie merch.
Who doesn't spend their money on PewDiePie merch? You don't open your packs and sell the best cards to get the money to buy PewDiePie
To buy
merch.
PewDiePie merch.
But anyway, we're gonna record. That'll probably be one of the next few podcast episodes. If you're following along, we'll get Leo in here again pretty soon, and we'll record that again. And this time we will do the audio right.
We can use that clip of Leo crawling through the house.
We do have a clip of Leo crawling around like he's from The Grudge. It's not relevant. Maybe I'll find it. I think it's on my editing computer, so maybe I can put it into the podcast right now if I'm paying attention. It's honestly a little bit terrifying. But anyway, we have so much news to go over. We're like so far behind.
It's
now.
Scratch
a
the
podcast.
surface.
Just some quick little update on tournament results. A few weeks ago, I think 2, maybe 3 weeks, DreamHack Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Mr. Mime. Just 3 weeks ago.
Mr. Mime, my
appeared.
father.
Okay, apparently Fernie's father is Mr. Mime. Anyway, DreamHack Anaheim. It's a big tournament. It's the in-person MTG Arena tournament. One of the first that are like not a Wizards or Channel Fireball sanctioned like event for Arena in person. It's like pretty unprecedented, I guess. Maybe there's no one, but anyway, it had large cash prizes, and it was won ooh, I'm forgetting the name of the person who won it, but whoever won it is great, and congratulations. But more
Is it
importantly,
research done?
yeah, it's fine. A lot of times, if I don't know something, we'll just put it on the screen, and whoever's watching may see that if they wish. But they won with Teamer Clover, Teamer Adventures. Teamer Adventures has been putting up a few results. It's starting to look like a deck that might be one of the top players in the format. I think right now, if you go on like the little page, I use Goldfish to look at the metagame or whatever, because I think they look at the most like the past 2 weeks or something of tournament results, so you get a pretty accurate. It's like 20% mono red or something. I don't know what it is at the time of recording, but I checked a few days ago and it was like 27% mono red. But Teamer Clovers was like in 4th or 5th, I think.
Oh, I saw it recently. It was like 2nd.
Okay, well everybody's playing Teamer Clover now apparently, or winning with it.
But I will say, the deck list looks almost like my Storm Ventures deck, except someone actually made it better. It kind of has the same things, or it's like has the clovers and then some of the pieces, but it takes out like the combo aspect.
Okay, well if we could put both those lists up now, I think I have your list, maybe a link, or maybe if you send me a link again, somewhere. I'll put both up now. We'll see Angel's list from like a month or 2 ago.
I think this was this was like at the beginning as soon as the set released.
This was like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, no, when Throne
Angel had
came
a
out.
bunch.
When Throne came out?
That was
had a bunch of decks he made, like the Giants deck.
I had like a bunch, but then it's like Oko came out, and it's like, okay, I think I'm done with Standard.
But anyway, I'll try and put both those lists up. If not, I'll just put the DreamHack Anaheim list up so you guys can see this kind of deck. I think it's kind of cool. The other tournament result was, I believe, Worlds. It was won by Paulo Vito Demo Do Rosa. Hopefully I said that right. He won with Azorius Control. That also put a lot of buzz around Azorius Control. So I think those are 2 of the decks that people are kind of looking at now. I think that they're both good. I don't like playing against the control deck, Dream Trawler.
But it's always control.
Dream Trawler.
It's control and a big beater. That's what it always is.
Yeah, but Dream Trawler is like, man. That's it. That's all it is. It's just like, man.
It's like
it reminds me of Ojitai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
such a beat.
Just a flyer that does extra things.
Back around Con Standard, when people were playing like Esper Dragons, man, like they got Ojitai out and they had some way to protect it. You just couldn't do anything.
But it is
so bad.
What's better than Dream Eater or Ojitai?
Mine was always a Tarka.
Well, Dream Eater is the shitty mythic from Guilds of Ravnica, right?
It should be.
Meme Eater?
I think Dream Eater.
It should have been
the one
that
that's
I'm saying Dream Trawler is the card.
Oh yeah, Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler should have been the mythic, honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It doesn't even have
It's
that
a
much
rare,
value.
right?
Pelucano should be a rare.
Pork Eater? Nah.
He's pretty good. I mean, he doesn't really have a spot right now, but he's a pretty good
He's
card.
like a commander card, too. He's like a really good.
I don't know. Dream Eater just like will finish the game.
Again,
if you can't kill it.
Dream Eater is the mythic from Guilds of Ravnica.
Dream Trawler.
Dream Eater is not that great.
Dream
Eater is the card that dies to like Lightning Strike. The 6 mana mythic that dies to Lightning Strike.
With
has
all
literally
the
no
only
protection.
ability it has is to bounce
it bounces something
and
then
it
you
scries.
surveil 4. That's it.
The
It's a 6
surveil
mana
for
4/3
its scry.
flash flyer, which is like fine. Like 6 mana is kind of tough though. And then when it enters, you bounce something to your opponent's hand, and then you just surveil 4.
Not very good.
I don't think surveil was as strong as they thought it was.
No.
They're like, you get a 6 mana, you get a little flyer, and you get a surveil, bro. It's
What
so
is that?
good.
It's like a bad scry?
It's like a better scry. It's slightly better.
Is it better?
But it's still...
You throw things away instead of putting
Yeah,
them
but
on the
it
bottom.
helps if you're like trying to put... Especially right now with escape and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
now
it's viable.
now that mechanic makes sense, but back then it didn't.
Listen, back then, things were different.
Back then...
Could have tried to
Gas
do...
prices were 1 cent less. I have no idea what gas prices are. I don't know what they were then.
They go up and they go down. That's what happened.
I
That's
think
not
they
true.
were like 3 something, and now it's like 4.
Now it costs you a whole box of butter.
Stop.
A whole box of
It's probably like the equivalent of like 2 sticks of butter.
2 sticks
black
of butter per
lotus
gallon.
butter
Butter per gallon.
per
The
butter.
BPG. What's your car's BPG? I want to know.
5 butters per gallon.
5 butters per gallon. That's
He's on the
terrible.
premium stuff.
The
bro.
premium? The what?
He's using just straight lard, bro.
All right. Anyway, those were some of the term results that were relevant.
Lard.
There's some prices that have been spiking recently.
Just like gas.
The EDH, Legacy, and Pioneer have been shaking up. Pioneer is looking up a lot. Some cards are going way up because of it. Doomsday has gone up for a few weeks, I believe, at this point. Getting the trials is like $23 now because of Pioneer.
Damn.
That card is like
nothing,
right? It was like way less.
It was like $7 before,
Yeah.
Like at the start of Pioneer.
Yeah,
$6.
and then Flash, because of all the new ADH Flash Hulk decks with Thassa's Oracle, is like $5 now.
So let's just say, I'm just gonna put this on the table. I would say everything just spiked because of Thassa's Oracle.
Thassa's Oracle is crazy. I have a quick story about that. I have the recording, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to make that video. But I have a recording when I was playing Arena, and I had 2 Sage of Hours in my draft deck. And I was milling this dude out, and he was just taking it. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to get this guy pretty easily. And then after a while, he said, good game. I was like, okay, so he's going to die, right? And then he plays Thassa's Oracle, and he's like all smug, and he's like, good game again. And then I go, Thassa's Intervention, good game. And then he scooped it. Like, he let me mill him out and didn't kill the Sages for so long. And then he thought he was getting me. He thought he was all clever, but I just was holding a Thassa's Intervention the whole time. I was like, nah. Talk about going all in on a strategy. It was pretty
all
bad.
or nothing.
Yeah, that's my favorite Thassa's Oracle story so far. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was really, exactly. I'm brilliant. Thank you, everybody.
I don't like that.
Podcast's over.
I don't like
channel
that
over.
card.
Miles is brilliant. Someone finally said it.
Yeah, this is
But
why you
anyway.
went to college.
But anyway, yeah. So
That's
Thassa's
why you're
Oracle, I
going
think.
I just wanted someone to call me brilliant.
Thassa's Oracle
Thanks, Mom.
has had the biggest impact on everything because in Pioneer it's enabled a combo deck. It's pretty much holding the format.
It's what I
Well, it's
call.
doing Pioneer. With
It's
the
what I
inverter,
call a lazy win.
And
Oh,
that's the reason Doomsday is going up, because it puts your
Yeah.
deck to 5, and then you just play it.
Yeah, because in EDH too, like when you're doing the Doomsday combo, it's just 2 cards less, I think, because you actually have to draw the cards if you're trying to do the Lab Man, but if you're doing the Oracle,
You just play it.
yeah, you
As
just
long
play
as
it.
you have 5 Devotion, or you get rid of some
No,
other
as long
cards.
as you have 2. Because what they'll do is they'll just put cards that just draw themselves, so they're free to play.
Oh, okay.
Free
Gotcha.
to play. Oh, wait.
So you just draw those last 5 cards, and then you do...
No, you don't even have to. You just need to draw 3. Because you just play Oracle.
True. That's it.
Easy
Very true.
wins.
So it's easier.
Got it.
Easy wins.
So
So
I'm like having I'll be at a lot of McDonald's. It's coming
Wait.
up.
I think you ate a lot.
You ate a
That's
lot.
true. I ate a lot of
I
McDonald's.
ate one burger.
They had some McDonald's.
You should have
I had
seen
a lot.
Miles. It's like the moment he got his food and you open it, you're just
Gets
going
2
ham.
sausage
I didn't see him take a
McMuffins,
breath.
2
Listen,
McDoubles.
You guys, the
Devours
audience,
them with
let me teach you a
fries.
life lesson that you'll take with you for generations.
Eat as
to
much
come.
food to stay skinny.
Exactly. No, the lesson is McDonald's is good.
The lesson is McDonald's good.
Whether you're talking about whether or not their food is delicious, or that it's good for you, or their corporation is good, those
Nobody
are
cares.
all great debates. But the
Nobody
final
cares.
answer of all questions,
Nobody
McDonald's is
cares.
good. It's pretty good.
It's just everybody eats it, and that's it.
By the way, so going back to Pioneer and
This
about
doesn't have anything to do with McDonald's.
Yeah, what's
bro.
this got to do with McDonald's?
Bruh.
oh, I'm trying to bring this. I'm trying to bring it
Yeah,
back.
no, I
I'm about to
appreciate
get up
that.
and just get water, right?
Stop.
Okay, so what about Pioneer? What's going on?
So going back to it about how the format is pretty much being, I guess it's kind of like an inverter or nothing because the deck is just so flexible. It can pretty much adapt, which is really interesting. So bannings are this week.
Hopefully, by the time that this comes out, I will have A, read the bannings, and B, remember to put them in right now. We will
Awesome.
see whether or not any bannings happen. Of course, we can't tell right now. Even though I am a time traveler, it makes me really tired, so I don't do it very often.
Tosses is gone. If
If that is true, I will do it.
No, they never ban the new cards. They'll probably they would hit.
They'll let it
Inverter or
hit
Dig.
one.
No, they're gonna ban Thassa, like the old one.
The old
They're-
Toss.
They're gonna ban Thassa.
They're gonna
The
ban
one that nobody
Island.
played.
Exactly. Huh?
They're gonna ban islands.
Just basic island.
Angel said it first. Everybody. Everyone. Now you know.
And then they're
Welcome to
gonna ban Splinter Twin.
Legacy.
Let's
Welcome
go.
to
Splinter
Legacy.
Twin,
Are
ready?
you on the Dark Side Discord?
I haven't checked it out. In a
Wait,
hot
there's a
minute.
Discord for the LGS that we go to, and someone was on there, and they just went in the modern chat and just said unban twin. So then I posted back a screenshot I was like, man, you're right. And then it's like the modern ban list, but I used inspect element and then made it say Olsen twins instead. It's like, I totally agree. You should unban them. They should be allowed in the store. And then I also made a different one that said that Kevin Ali is banned. He's not allowed to play modern anymore. Just in general.
Not allowed to play Legacy anymore.
I should just find like do one for all of the different formats, just one for him. Just like, sorry, Wizards of the Coast says you can't play anymore. It's not allowed. You can only buy.
You're only allowed to pack war.
You can pack war the box of butter. That's what you can do.
Who's got the biggest butter, bro?
Whoa. Who's got the biggest butter?
How many sticks of butter for a Black Lotus?
Well, I mean, that one is Black Lotus. Remember? That's the Black Lotus butter edition.
Oh, yeah.
Butter.
I'll trade you my Black Lotus for your Black Lotus because mine is superior. The butter lotus. Anyway.
The lard lotus.
The lard lotus. Anyway, with the last bit of news before we get to go into the cool part of the podcast.
Special guest, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady. I knew it. Hey! Anyway, Tom Brady died.
He just left.
He left and then he died. So, well, since he's gone, we might as well talk about MTG Arena. Is getting quite a few updates. Stoon. Is getting a Stoon. Is quite a few updates soon. In the state of the game address that they did for March. We're not going to go over all of them because a lot of them are just merely cosmetic. But they're two interesting ones. The first is that direct messaging is coming. They just implemented friends very recently, so you can add your friends on MTG Arena, have a list. Mine is currently, I think, at 0 because Angel never accepted my request.
I accepted your
request. I got 0
I never
friends.
see you online.
You never see me online? That's because my internet doesn't work. I just play Arena by myself. I just play solitaire.
It's because you keep playing on a VPN.
I'm playing on a NordVPN. We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored yet.
Well, we just want them to take the traffic and make it look like I'm in North Korea. Anyway, they have direct messaging. I could go message Angel and tell him he's a great guy if I wanted to.
But he can't because he's
I
not
could-
your friend.
I already accepted it.
But more
I'll probably
importantly,
ignore it.
more importantly,
Oof.
Cube Sealed is coming to
Nice.
MTG Arena. They're actually doing
You
a
can't
format.
afford it in real life.
Well, it's actually interesting. It's not like the normal cubes that they do in MTGO. It's actually only cards that were already on MTG Arena. So it's going to be like a weird format.
So it's Arena Cube Sealed.
Arena Cube Sealed and it's Phantom. So you don't get to keep the cards. Which is weird because the cards are already on Arena. I don't know why they wouldn't give it to you.
Well, they have that on Moto.
Well, I know they do Phantom drafts on Moto, but
Yeah,
like, they don't
because-
want to give you like really old cards that are really powerful, right? Because
These
those
are
worth a lot
current
of money.
cards.
Like Arena, like and you can't.
Some cards on Arena. I know that they have the.
Blessing.
I'm trying to remember the name. So they have like the Phantom drafts with the power draft. I don't know the name, but it's like they have all the Power 9 in there. They
That's
have
what I'm
like all
saying.
Legacy.
Like if you opened it up and it wasn't a Phantom draft, like they'd probably have to charge because they don't want to just give everybody Black Lotus and things like that, right? But they're
there's
doing.
probably-
That's what I'm saying. For Arena, I don't
Yeah.
know why it's Phantom because it's just cards that are already on Arena, and Arena doesn't have a secondary market, so I don't really know what they care about.
I
What
think
are they
it's
going to do? Like
for-
inject cards into Historic? Like,
I think it's just the
no one's
draft
playing.
experience because it's probably going to be cheaper.
Sure, I don't know. Well, if there's any relevant information that I find, I'll put it up. But we just wanted to talk about that. It's just cards that are already on there. You got to do sealed, and they said that they mentioned that they're going to try and implement draft for that kind of older stuff soon, but they're going to take a while because the draft bots are weird, and also they want to have it so people can draft, but that's like a whole different animal. But anyway, we finally did it. We did it, boys.
What did we do?
Got through the news. This is like the longest news segment we've ever done. Partially because we spent half of it talking about dumb stuff.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that why people watch us?
This butter economy
People,
is booming.
the butter economy. Imagine you were opening up a pack for draft.
This
and
feels
then
like
and there was just like a
2010.
sliver of butter. in
This
there.
just feels like 2010 humor.
Why are you judging our butter humor? Anyway, we're gonna go into probably one of the riskiest moves of our podcast. We're gonna attempt to switch gears and actually do a video in the middle of the podcast and have the video in the podcast and maybe upload it somewhere else. Who knows? Somewhere else, some time else. So you might be seeing this video. You might have already seen it, depending on how things work out. But whatever. Watch it again,
Okay.
bro.
I
Anyway,
don't
Yeah.
agree to this.
I agree to
I agree
everything,
to it.
and I agree. To
My
everything.
hands will take center stage.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing an opening of a pre-release kit during the podcast, and we're going to have that video. Hopefully, you're watching it right. Maybe not right now, but as soon as it starts, you'll be watching it instead of hearing us or hearing this over it, whatever. And you can also probably watch this video. It'll be uploaded separately. But anyway, we got our kit right here. We got the trusty switchblade, and we're going to get it going. So we're going to hit record on the camera.
That's
You guys
illegal,
ready?
Miles.
What's illegal?
Everything.
Butter? Anyway.
This is
And we are back with another MMMtg Theros Beyond Death pre-release pack being recorded during the podcast. So you're either watching this on the podcast or you're watching it on the channel. If you're watching on the channel, why aren't you watching on the podcast? The podcast is great. Anyway, let's get into it. Fernley, open your hands. We're going to doing a Fernley's hand opening video.
Heck yeah. Pork yeah, brother.
Yes, if you guys want to follow along, or when you guys want to grab one of the packs and open them or something like that.
I'll
how
take
you wanna
the
do it?
knife.
Sure, man. We're doing a knife opening video.
Knife opening video.
All right, so I just crumpled some plastic next to the mic. Hopefully you guys have no hearing anymore. And let's see what we got.
White dice.
Nice,
we got
I'll take
nine
that.
die.
Thank you.
And that was another pre-release kit opening video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, oh, promo is upside down. And it's Dream Trawler again. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He literally just threw that.
Actually, on the
It wasn't
floor.
even like a joke that off the camera. Like he just actually threw it off.
This
the
was
table.
not planned.
That was not. That wasn't planned.
I got it.
Yeah, but actually, during if you're following along, I watched our 6-part mini pre-release series. The pre-release promo that I opened up was a Dream Trawler, and these pre-release kits were bought together, so that's kind of weird. That we got we ended up getting 2 of them. That's
Yeah,
kinda
I bought like what, 6 of them?
interesting. Pre-release kit, I think so.
Yeah.
Here's an arena code. Some people were asking about it, like we weren't sure if we were gonna do giveaways or something for them, but I don't really care anymore.
Isn't
here-
it
there
too
is.
late?
Whoever
I
gets
think?
it. No, I think it says I can read it already through the camera. It says expires July 1st, 2021. And that's a divider, and this is 6 booster
2
butter,
for each piece.
6 butter packs. So
I want the dogs. Give me the dogs. I
I'm
want
grabbing
dogs.
these.
Dogs. Dogs.
All right, you guys.
Pack war. We can pack war for
Good
fun.
pack war. Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, if you're watching right now and you're just new to the channel and you have so much a backlog of stuff to watch, you could go watch our Throne of Eldraine box pack war that we did. I want to do that again. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That was
about
good
that.
stuff. We did a whole box pack war.
The
We each
setting on
took
the
a
back?
third of it.
Well, I do it like this, so
Well, I got a
I hide the
tentacle,
rare.
so I win.
No. I have an
win, bro.
island, so
I have a mountain.
all right. Well, I usually do them
Wait,
like
right
Oh,
this,
on
Jess
the-
Kai. Jess
and
Kai
then I
way
just
the
flip
only
from the
way.
bottom. So that's why it's a surprise.
Nada.
I win.
3, 2. Well,
He has a 3.
I have a 4, so both of you guys go.
I have a 3 again.
4.
Well,
I have
that
to
means
keep
me and
going.
Fernley have to.
Let's
go.
clean this
I
up
have
a
a
little
4.
bit. Let's make this more enjoyable.
Well, you see, you should have thought of that earlier.
I think we all
Alright,
have
just
4s.
put your top one right there.
I think
Put
we
your
all
top
have
one
4s.
forward. Okay, Fernie, what is this your top?
This is a
one?
4.
Get this chaff away.
I got a 5 now.
Okay,
Alright.
5 and a 4.
that's not.
I have a
anything.
5 and 2
That's not
4s.
anything.
What is the highest CMC? 6, 7?
High CMC is 15.
That's pretty high, I think.
Stop.
I have a 5 and 2 4s.
Listen, I'll catch up. I'll catch up.
So I need to beat
Just
Fernley.
You have to beat 2
I'll
4s.
catch up. I'll catch up. I have a
Oh, I have a.
five.
I just keep getting 2s.
I
I have
have
a
2
6. I have a 6
Thing
now.
is a 6 now.
A 6 and a 5.
So many fucking. Sorry.
Oh, bro, did you just
Oh.
swear on our family podcast, bro?
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
my rare is Wave Break Hippocamp.
Nice, you got a foil
I have
though.
a foil though.
What is it?
It was a 1.
If it's a Dream Trawler, I'm throwing it.
Well,
Oh,
taking it
alright.
as slow as
Oh,
that's
possible.
pretty cool. That's neat.
It's pretty
That's
nice.
really shiny.
So
I
do
like
I
that.
win it? Do I win?
Huh?
Do I win?
That is my last card.
Nah, I win.
Yeah.
I win, bro.
Island of Obstruction.
Hey, I got a cow.
I got-
Wow. Angel not only won the pack war, but he also just pulled a Calyx.
I got
That's kind of cool.
2 things.
It's pretty cool.
Neat. Yeah, but I think this pack, I definitely have the coolest pack.
No, you
I'm
didn't.
declaring it.
Nice.
These lands are so cool. I don't understand why people don't like these. Like, oh, it looks like Pokemon. Like
Pokemon.
Pokemon looks cool, dude.
You know how many people play
Have you
Pokemon?
seen? Yeah, have you seen the foils of Pokemon? That stuff's nuts.
I can guarantee you, as a kid, you bought Pokemon without actually knowing how to play a game.
Well, I mean, like, I was even like a teenager. I was like buying them, trying to get the foils.
Yeah,
They
you
just
forced
look cool,
me to
man.
play the game with you.
Listen, it looks cool, bro.
It looks cool, yeah, but you still look like a child playing the game.
We look like children anyway.
That's
It doesn't
true.
matter if we're playing a game or not.
I'm gonna let your reflection show.
Sad.
Dude, you're so funny, dog.
Thanks.
God, bro.
Let's see. So these are the
Fours.
ones.
Hey, you got the gold.
All that glitters is gold. Angel butter box, black lotus
Get the
edition.
chaff out.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Flippy Dippy.
2.
I got 3.
oh,
beat it.
Fernie's the victor.
Oh, you
So my
got
highest
3.
is 3, still 4.
You got a 4. This one.
Oh, I'm
I
still beating you
immediately got a
technically.
4. I have another 3.
Why is my
Technically,
pack
I'm
so
winning.
bad?
Technically, you're
Technically,
stop.
I'm
Technically, I have
winning.
a 5. So get
Whoa,
out of
whoa,
here.
whoa. There's a 4.
This goes to yours.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
What is
another
this?
4.
What is this? I'm so
It's
confused.
called sadness.
No, I got a foil again.
Oh, I got 5.
I got a foil again.
They have
Well,
3
hang on.
4s.
Do you want to save the foil till last?
I'm
for
winning.
last?
I'm just waiting. I totally lost. I didn't get anything above 4.
I mean, that could be the highest thing.
You
I
guys
have
have a 5 right there.
Yeah, but I
there's
have 3
foil, foil.
4s.
Yeah. Well, I have a foil though. What if it's like a 7 drop, bro?
Oh,
Is there
you,
7 drop?
Do you have 3 4s though?
I have 3 4s.
Should I start pulling?
Isn't there like an 8 drop?
I have
There's
4
like a
fours.
mythic that's like an 8 drop, isn't it?
Something like that.
Oh, Kiora, best of secret.
I have 4 4s.
That's a 7. No, the mythic, the next one.
I don't know what we're
So my highest are 4 4s, 2
I have
3s.
5 4s now.
Well, it seems like you're gonna win this unless Miles pulls like
Miles,
a
keep
foil.
going.
Oh shit!
What do you get?
Hey, what happened
Foil
to Chris?
Timuret chosen from Death Showcase.
Oh, dang.
That's pretty cool.
You still lose. Thanks.
Hey, no, what are you talking about?
All right, we'll finish
It
up.
doesn't matter because I bought all of these kids.
It doesn't.
Nah, man.
They're all mine.
You're the winner here.
I'm the real winner here. Treacherous Blessings.
I
have
got a
foil.
lot of 2 drops.
I have a foil.
Surprisingly.
Oh, Modomai's Prophecy foil.
Oh, that's worth something.
Yeah, this is a really great crit. Crit.
Crit?
Crit. I just crit you, Fernie. You're
Oh,
dead.
no.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching the very bizarre Pack War pre-release kit opening, impromptu, out of nowhere, in the podcast. What an unprecedented
MMMtg's
thing.
Bizarre Adventure.
MMMtg's Bizarre Adventure. Thank you for that Photoshop that you just made me do. I promise you I'll be laughing the whole time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I think I have to put that Photoshop on 2 different videos because it's a podcast and a video. And we'll catch you all later.
Thank you.
Bye.
And goodbye.
I just realized
That's bye to everybody watching just the video, but to everybody watching the podcast,
You're
We're
gonna
gonna
hear a
keep
lot
it
of
rolling.
noise because we gotta clean up around.
we'll do that later.
I just
Anyway.
realized how awkward that would have been because it's like we're doing a pack war, so it's like you can't even see who's winning.
No, you can see pretty clearly, like, at least your cards. Fernie's might
Yes,
have been
the
blurry sometimes, but it's like,
Yeah.
On the podcast.
the podcast people. No, the video is going to be on the podcast. That's what I was saying. If you're watching the podcast,
You're gonna
you
know.
know you're
what
gonna watch
happened.
it, and we said bye, but we're not actually saying bye to you. We're only saying bye to the people who are
Who
just watching
just
the video
watched.
separately.
Alright, bye, Miles.
And if you watch both, thank you for being a trooper and helping our.
That's
viewers,
right,
because
you-
that really helps out the channel and the show survive.
I mean, we don't actually get any money or anything, and it's not actually relevant to our survival, but it makes us feel better.
It helps the show survive.
Hey, let's currently get another McChicken.
helps.
It
helps-
doesn't even help with that, bro.
It helps Miles in the hours of editing and photoshopping stupid stuff to put his visual aids.
Exactly.
But anyway, that was the opening, and we have a new segment.
And somebody got that code if you're the first viewer.
Yeah, there's a code in there. And I'm not going to read it off because I lost it. I don't know where it
Because
I
it's,
can say one of the
it's,
things I can do.
It's blank, 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 blank.
is. It's 420-420-69.
Honestly, I can just hand out codes because I open a lot of the Throne pre-releases, and I have like probably 12.
I think those are like expired now, aren't they?
Do they expire?
They expire.
Why don't we
The
get
ones for Theros
sleeves
expire
for
in
these
July.
special things? By the way.
What are you, like some kind of sleeve?
Well, I mean, I can bring it
Yeah.
and double check. I
Yeah, we
only. We'll see.
Yeah, so the next segment is we're going to be talking about Pioneer because I believe the last podcast, or maybe the one before it, or it might have even been the first one, of Season 2, we were talking about Pioneer when the format got announced. We were talking about what we anticipated the format would be like and the decks we thought we would see or we wanted to play, and just kind of like our predictions for it. And obviously the format has had some time to mature, and it's definitely taken a few interesting turns, and I thought we'd just kind of like check in on it and see kind of where it's at and how far away it is from what we thought it was. So if you guys want to start with kind of like what you imagine Pioneer would be like when it came out, like that first time that we talked about it.
I thought it'd be a failure.
I know, that's kind of what I think Pioneer, I think the name of the podcast was Pioneer, the New Frontier, or the New Frontier, and it's kind of like a clever name. We don't always have clever names for the podcast, so I was pretty happy with that.
Most
one.
of the time we don't even plan what we're going to
You know
talk
what?
on the podcast until 5 minutes before.
We're busy men, all right? But anyway.
Eating McDonald's.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were just kind of talking about the failure that was Frontier. You know, there was a lot of hype around it, and people thought it was going to be the greatest new thing. It really kind of died out. We were wondering what would make Pioneer so different and whether or not Pioneer can succeed. And it definitely has exceeded a lot of people's expectations. It is looking like it's here to stay. It's been a few months.
Yeah.
And it's more popular than ever. The LGS that we go to, it's got like 3 or 4 events for it, and there's like people playing it, and they love it, right? It's even cannibalizing some different. It's in some stores across the country. It's cannibalizing standard events. Even like people are like, I don't want to play standard anymore. Why don't I play a non-rotating format that has some of the same cards? So I believe it'll be here for a while. And I think I was kind of on the fence, but I was before, kind of
on the fence, but hopeful.
I was hopeful, yeah, because they were the fact that they were doing a curated ban list and they were keeping up with it is what made me feel that like, okay, there's nothing going to be wrong with this format because they're going to be able to self-correct it. So that's pretty cool, and I think that our predictions for the decks were kind of wiki whack. The decks, the things that are dominating the format right now, I don't think anyone could have seen.
Well, to be fair, they printed some dumb new cards.
Yeah, Thassa's Oracle was probably the most relevant example. Just like killing the format, like dominating the format.
It's hard when you print such good cards.
It's weird. When I first saw Thassa's Oracle, I was like, man, this card sucks.
A bad card.
And then you read it again, and you read the last line, and you go,
ban now.
Yeah. And then some dude was looking through his bulk from Oath of the Gatewatch, and then he saw Inverter of Truth, and he was like, oh my god.
This is like a guy who had like 20 copies.
I wish I was that guy. I could have sworn that I had a bunch of them from before, but I just couldn't find it. I might have even thrown them away, honestly. Like, that card was dirt for the longest time. It only saw a little bit of play when it came out, because I think it was probably Sapphire Olive or something. He was playing it with, like, Hushwing Griff. And they were like, ooh, 4-mana 6/6, yeah. And then this is a totally different ballpark.
This you win the game.
Yeah, it's like, oh, 4-drop, 2-drop, win. Okay, cool. Next game. Yeah, what other decks, Angel? I think you know a little bit more about Pioneer. Like, what other decks are like doing really well right now?
I know a bit more. I know that there is a Golgari Delve deck or Sultai Delve. Some of that Emrakul at the top end.
Oh,
there's Lotus Breach.
Oh yes, Pioneer and Legacy, right?
Yeah, I know in Legacy people are complaining about Underworld Breach.
Underworld Breach was another sleeper from Theros Spin Death. It took a little bit for the Thassa's Oracle to go, like, start seeing play and people to talk about it, and then right afterwards, a slightly less talk, but like Underworld Breach is doing really well.
So yeah, I read it. I was like, that's a good card. I don't think it'll be good in standard.
Yeah, there's nothing really for it right now.
Yeah, but like in any other format, I feel like it could do something.
It's like, oh, just play cards from your graveyard. Was it Yawgmoth's Will, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a Yawgmoth's Will for 2 mana, but you got to put cards. You got to use cards, but you could get around that pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because I think the escape cost is just the mana cost, right?
It's whatever the mana cost is, and then 3 cards.
Yep, that's really not that hard, honestly.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
So let me exile my whole deck real quick.
And then you can play Underworld Breach with Underworld Breach.
You can play
do
Underworld
that.
Breach.
There's no point.
Underworld
I
Breach.
was thinking about it, and it totally was not what I thought it was. I was
You're
thinking
playing
about,
some weird enchantment.
I was thinking
deck,
about
bro.
something. Anyway,
You're
Yeah.
playing like the Starfield deck.
ooh, Starfield deck's pretty good. Not in Pioneer, but I just remember it. It was a good deck.
That was a good deck. It was pretty annoying to play against for me.
I saw somebody playing that Commander not too long ago. I was like, man, I haven't seen that card in years.
I like playing weird things in that standard, like from like Cons Block.
We talk about that a lot, Cons Block standard.
'Cause it
Not
was
just Cons
good.
Block, but
'Cause
like
it was-
just all around it. It was good.
It
I
was
don't think
good.
I've ever been like happy and impressed with a format.
I think it was
since
all
then.
downhill from
Yeah,
that.
maybe not even necessarily downhill. It's kind of like stocks, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's up and it's down, and sometimes it's more up than others, and then generally it could go an average trend up and down. But I don't
Yeah.
think any peak for me has reached as high as Cons
Cons,
was. That was
yeah.
so good. And that stuff was great. What's up?
Like,
Oh, so we got some Pioneer metagame data coming in. Beep, 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 right from the Telegram. We got, oh yeah, the Heliod combo. Oh yeah, Angel, can you talk about that for a second?
oh, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that deck was honestly going to go off, but I can actually see that it's putting up results.
I mean, mono white, bro.
It's Mono White. Mono White is really aggressive.
We got
I
all
did
those
remember.
Johnnies too. The like their late game. It's like, oh, I don't even need creatures at this point.
Yeah, and then the Johnny's good too because it helps reduce the cost of doing the combo a bit. Because if you just put on a Johnny and you can put a counter on the ballista, you can just try and kill them that way.
Yeah,
So that you only need a ballista on 2 mana.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I remember Mono White was also pretty strong in one of the standards. I think it was
A couple standards ago, I think.
like
Ixalan.
Ixalan. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ixalan. There was a
Yeah,
Mono White
Maverick
vampire.
Fane. Mm-hmm.
There's also Band Spirits, Mono Black Aggro. Mono Green is still around, apparently. Niv to Light.
Oh yeah, Niv Mizzet, that's another big thing. Just basically like kind of when it was coming out, we were hoping and we were thinking that a lot of the decks that we had seen in standards past that Pioneer
Would
compasses
come
would
back,
come back, but
yeah.
then really it was just these.
It was really like a melding of
It's
them.
it's stuff that you couldn't have anticipated.
It's because there's so many different cards that came
Yeah,
out.
it definitely it's interesting seeing all the different like all these different minds from across the world like coming together and like making up all these different synergies and combos and stuff and what decks are actually doing really
Yeah.
well. It's kind of interesting. And then they print Thassa's Oracle and they're like, oh, okay.
It's like the only time you really thought about those cards, at least for me, was when it came to Commander. It was like, oh, what am I got playing my Commander deck?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, dog. See the Unwritten Atarka. It's like, I got 2 cards. Just tell me when you're done with the rest of the deck.
I will say the only 2 cards that are honestly recognizable that have been in past standards is kind of like the Band Spirits deck, because I was like a Coco deck or just Spirits.
Yeah.
And then Is It in Soul?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mono Red Aggro.
I used to play in Soul Artifact back around, I think it was M15 or a little bit after
Yeah.
that. You had Soul
Kinda-
Artifact, you had all kinds of artifacts, Ghost Fire Blade and Darkseal Citadel, and you get Shrapnel Blast. So you hit them down with your 2 mana 5/5s over and over again, and then they think that they stabilize. You're like, 2 mana 5 damage, bro. No problem, no
2
problem.
mana 5 damage.
No problem. What a good deck.
We put down that weird enchantment that copies your artifacts every turn. What was that called? There's a weird one like that.
5 mana artifact that does what?
There's one that copies your artifacts. I forget what it was though. You play it on one of your artifacts, and every turn you get.
Did they reprint
Oh, no, that's 4 mana.
That's 4 mana.
Mechanized
Oh.
Production.
That's the
it?
one.
Yeah. They didn't play that in Soul Artifact. That's
They
way
didn't, but
That's
it
way
was
later.
like.
People were playing that around the time of Exelon, trying to put it on treasure tokens,
Yeah.
or clue tokens. I don't know, something like that.
It's something weird that you could just throw away at like an instant, but it was like, yes, was it good? It was okay.
Yes. I think they're gonna reprint that in Secret Layer, Butter Black Lotus.
Butter Black Lotus.
But
Very nice, very nice.
yeah, so that, I think I just kind of wanted to stop by Pioneer real quick to kind of revisit, because we made a lot of we do that sometimes. We make a lot of speculation stuff as part of our scheduled programming, but we never really go back and like, were we right, were we wrong, what is really happening, and this is make sure that we're kind of being thorough. So this is kind of what happened with Pioneer, and that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, hopefully it keeps going. I mean,
I think it will. I think
it
will
helps
for a
out
while.
it just helps out those people who like have nothing to do with those old cards.
Yeah, and I think it's helped a lot of stores too. Like, there's some people who are really reliant on standard and having a hard time, but there's some stores that just People were just really burned out. You know, they wanted something new, and this is what it is. And it's letting them play with cards that they had a lot of, and it's letting stores sell cards that they had big stock of that no one was buying because there's no demand. Like getting in the trials that we were talking about earlier, nobody wanted that card. What would you play it in? Like nothing. But now it's suddenly $24, and stores are trying to sell it. So I think it's definitely a very positive thing. Angel is just sorting cards because he's a fiend for organization.
Is that not like Leo? Jesus.
Leo loves organizing.
That's weird.
Like Leo, never really got into the game. We couldn't get him to learn it. We couldn't get him to play
sit down and sort for hours.
He loves sorting the cards so much.
So what you're saying is I should just bring a giant pile of all my cards.
That's right, Angel. You should abuse his personality tick for your own benefit. Anyway,
the thing that calms him down.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from Pioneer, the next part of the podcast, we want to talk about Ikoria. And you might be thinking, why are they talking about Ikoria? There are no spoilers. There's no information. There's a little bit of information, but it's just literally the art on some packages. But that's exactly perfect. We want to speculate. We want to guess. We want to make predictions so we can see if we get it right. I know some other people do this on YouTube, and it's a little bit, but I think we just kind of want to...
Not the whole fun of it, though.
Yeah, we want to just throw our own guesses out there and a little bit unstructured, and let's just do it. Yeah. So I just kind of want you guys think maybe... definitely when I talk about the Planeswalkers, who do you think is going to be there? As we do know, there's going to be, I think, one Walker that we've seen before and two new ones at least, or maybe the other way around. And then also let's just talk about what kind of tribes we think will be there and
tribes.
Yeah, and then what mechanics do we think are going to pop up, or what kind of mechanics, or what do we think we're going to see? Stuff like that. For Angel, have you thought about this one before?
So yeah, I think I've touched about this once. So when I heard layer behemoths, and then the more I thought about it, I guess my mind just raced towards like some of the old King Kong movies, or like Godzilla stuff.
Yeah,
like the giant animals.
I think the most recent kind of stuff like that is like Pacific Rim. Sadly, with the kaiju,
Yes.
Not a good movie, but like. The kaiju is kind of cool. I think that was the only good part of the movie.
So that's what I'm thinking, because one of the mechanics that we do know about, because of the unsanctioned box product, was one of the cards had... I'm trying to remember. The green one, it said you can put another counter on something, or put a card into play. But one of the mechanic was called mutate.
Mutate.
So that's a spoiler, or
Yeah, it's a spoiler kind of because it showed up in the unsanctioned product. Because if you look at one of the cards, I think it's General Surgeon Commander. Because I forget what his staff ability does, but it has something to do with like augments and stuff like that.
Oh, it referenced a mechanic that wasn't in unsanctioned?
Yeah, that hasn't been printed yet.
Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't actually catch that. That is a spoiler. Yeah, I didn't hear about that, or no, I didn't hear someone talk about that. I didn't really notice that. I feared that was just some unmechanic that I had that I didn't know, because it's unmechanics, right?
Yeah, because it's unmechanics, and we only did like one of those drafts.
Well, Angel, we did a seal with your stuff, right? That box you had.
I think so.
Yeah. Not on the channel.
If you want, I have an on conspiracy cube.
Let's do it. Let's do it for the channel. We could do like a seal.
Chaotic.
We could just we just keep talking about all these different more 6-part miniseries we're gonna do. We might have to condense that a little bit. Maybe do all the openings from one video or something like that. I don't know. But
who cares?
Let's do it. Let's do mystery booster sealed. Let's do conspiracy uncubed sealed. I think people would like to see that.
I mean, yeah, it's a good way of like looking at the cards, even though you don't have the money to buy that stuff, or even like if you're thinking about buying that stuff, like you're on the fence. You might see a couple good cards that you might want to buy.
Well, if anybody's watching and you're interested in that kind of stuff, just comment, let us know, and we'll try and get that done as quickly as we can. We can't always record every week, but we try our best.
We try to do a couple videos every weekend.
Yeah. We'll record like 1 to 3 videos, and then we'll put one up every week, and that way we can keep a backlog, so there's always something to watch. But anyway, back to Ikoria. So you're talking about mutate. Like, what kind of other mechanics you think we'll see? Because I mean, they can't all be about big creatures, right? There's got to be something else.
I think some of them will have to reference some of the commander decks coming out with it.
Oh yeah. So what were the names of those? I remember they told us the names, right?
I don't even remember, but I do know the one that stuck out to me was like something Maelstrom. So when I hear that, I think of Cascade.
True. And that can work for big creatures.
It's gonna be
right?
like a different mechanic that's almost exactly the same. It's gonna be like less than that. I don't know.
That's what Cascade was.
I know, but like, I feel like it has to be something.
It'll be
different.
Bascade. It'll be one level lower.
Well, it's like if this is supposed to be like a plane about like giant monsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna be like the kaijus where they just come out of the ocean? It's like, they just rise out of the ocean.
Maybe. But I mean, that's got to be the blue one. It's gonna be like all kinds of.
I feel like there's gonna be like a lot of big blue-green creatures. Cause
that might be where the mutate comes from.
It has been the year of just green and blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
Oko.
green.
They're gonna reprint Oko, Thief of Crowns. They're just gonna make them cost more, man.
Yeah.
And they're gonna call him Oko, Thief of Browns.
What?
Because it's like crowns, but then you change the C to a B. That just makes it different.
They're adding a new color to Magic Brown.
Brown. They had that before.
That's called artifacts. Come on.
Exactly. I'm not really sure. I'm definitely thinking, there's got to be dragons. That's the red. The blue, you got to have just like the sea monsters, all kinds of kraken and stuff like that.
Kaijus and stuff.
Okay, so now we have more information coming in through the horn. Beep, 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 beep. We have the Commander 2020 decklist names. We have Ruthless Regiment, Arcane Maelstrom, Symbiotic Swarm, Timeless Wisdom, Enhanced Evolution. So, I mean, Timeless Wisdom makes you feel that maybe there's like big sphinxes or something, or at least humans or something.
Or maybe
it's like some spellish thing.
Yeah, you have Symbiotic Swarm makes you feel that there might be some sort of big insects or something like that. It's so crazy. I'm like, I want this to be like some kind of crazy Jurassic Park kind of thing.
I told you, it's like Skull Island from King Kong.
King
There's
Kong
a bunch
Skull
of, like,
Island.
nasty
Big monkey headland. That was a great movie. I just like watching him beat up the other monsters. I would show clips, but I don't want the videos taken down because they take forever to edit. I don't care anything about the money or anything because we don't make any money.
We don't make it.
I just don't want to spend hours editing this and take it down because I put a clip of a monkey punching a T-Rex. I just don't care that much.
You just have to make it constructive. It's fun.
Just put our faces.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the monkey? Who's the monkey?
Got a picture of Leo.
Leo's the monkey?
No.
Wow, that's kind of messed up.
What do you mean? He's the most ape-like.
Whoa.
Whoa! You're gonna have some when we get Leo on this podcast again to re-record. You're gonna have some explaining to do. You roasted a man. He's not even here to defend himself.
He doesn't need to be.
Wow.
He wouldn't defend himself anyway.
Wow. Anyway,
he takes it in stride.
But anyway, so we already have one mechanic essentially. We have mutate. So out of the 5 decks, the enhanced evolution should just be like including the mutate mechanic. That should be kind of the deck.
could be.
Yeah.
The Arcane Maelstrom, we can assume maybe that's Cascade. The other three, the Symbiotic Swarm, probably something to do with tokens going
Yeah,
on.
This
probably.
regiment might be like red white or red black or something. Some kind of
Yeah, like the natives on the island or something.
maybe.
Because that was like King Kong, right? There was like natives on the island that like had to defend themselves against those giant monsters. Built that giant gate.
Timeless Wisdom,
Was that the first? Was that the?
That was the
Peter
very
Jackson?
old. Yeah.
Listen, Angel, you're trying to tell me that it's not as important as King Kong, bro. He's like a big monkey.
This big
All I
monkey.
remember is that movie was like 5 hours, and I watched it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, this is so
I don't
long.
think that King Kong was 5 hours long.
It was a long. One of them was a long time.
Angel was like, I watched all Lord of the Rings. It was like, man, that was like 8 hours, bro.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong is your
Donkey Kong Island, bro.
Donkey Kong Island. That's my favorite movie.
You see the part where he eats the banana, bro? That was crazy.
That's like my favorite.
He went all around. He went all around the island to become the monopoly on bananas.
But then did you see the time he pulled out his coconut gun?
I remember when Peter Jackson made that movie. He got all kinds of awards.
Donkey Kong Island.
Donkey Kong Island. Peter Jackson.
That's my favorite Peter Jackson movie, bro.
My how many? What is your other favorite Peter Jackson? How many
Donkey
Peter Jackson
Kong
movies can you
Island
name,
2, bro.
Donkey Kong Island 2.
Return of Kong, bro.
We got really derailed here. I don't know. We're just trying to speculate about Ikoria.
Yeah.
We got really derailed. I don't want to make this.
Well,
like,
watch it. It's gonna be what's her name? Where's the dinosaur lady?
Are you still talking about Donkey Kong?
No,
Island,
I'm
man?
talking about like because they said one familiar planeswalker.
Oh, okay.
Vivian,
It's gonna be Vivian.
probably, because
I-
they confirmed
no,
that that's her home plane.
Oh, that's her.
Well, I mean,
home
they
one.
already showed a picture of her.
Ah,
I
that
think
sucks.
so. They showed it in packaging, I think, somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Vivian's there,
Vivian.
so there's gonna be new planeswalkers.
We need another copy of Vivian.
I'm throwing wild
This is like
guesses
when
out.
Gideon's out. It's like, oh, we're gonna make as many copies of Gideon as possible. Now it's Vivian, apparently.
I mean, that's what they did with Garrick until he's just not there anymore.
Yeah,
Now there's just Vivian
and then he brought him back for like one sesh. You're like,
One
oh,
sesh.
you're gonna
No.
be back. The curse is
Like Garrett
still there.
sesh.
a one set stand.
What set stand, bro?
Wow. Anyway,
he's being controlled by Oko.
So we got some.
He still got wolves though. Still got wolves.
We got some curious speculation going on, but we don't want this to be too long. We actually are going to be recording something else after this, and this is something that I think if you're a big fan of our content and our MTG stuff, we might have talked about this before, but we had some major delays. So we are very soon going to be releasing. We have a new channel that we're doing. It's not really related to Magic, but we might talk about Magic on it at some point. It's called the GI Track. If you want to learn about it and what we're doing on there, hopefully we'll have the first episode of the GI Track podcast up by the time this goes up or around there, and you can go check it out. I'll try and put some links up. And we're basically, it's sort of like it's called the general interest track. It's going to be talking about general interest. We're going to talk about all kinds of things that we like and things that necessarily we don't like. So it's going to be things that that we've never done before, or maybe one of us has done it and the others haven't. And it's mainly about learning, and it's about experiencing new things because I don't know. I feel like everybody could benefit from that. You know, there's a lot of studies and stuff like that of people who are living into like way into old age, and there's some people, unfortunately, they have some memory issues and stuff like that. There's some people that don't, and there's some studies that would make you believe that learning and being engaged and doing new things was really beneficial for your not just like your health, but also just your mentality, I guess. So we came up with an idea where we're just going to make a channel that promotes learning and trying new things for us, ourselves, and for all the listeners and people. We're going to teach you and ourselves along the way about literally anything, like new stuff that we haven't done before, things that we like right now, and we're just going to basically learn some stuff in these videos, and we're going to come back and then we're going to talk about it on a podcast. And we're going to start with the first podcast episode. We're going to talk about the concept in the first few videos, and then we're just going to have a conversation, just like how we do now. We just talk about Magic, and then we just go on a tangent and talk about Donkey Kong Island. So it'd be kind of like that. So if you think that Donkey Kong Island is great, and you want to hear us talk about more dumb stuff, while also trying to learn some stuff and stay enriched with your mind, follow us to the GI Track. We'll be there pretty soon. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out?
Are you doing the THX?
That was cool. But anyway,
I'm good.
yeah. So if it's up by the time you see this, go check out the GI Track on YouTube. That's us. And if you haven't already, check out the 6-part Theros Beyond Death pre-release miniseries that we put up, and any other videos we have recently. And yeah, that's really it. Thank you for watching.
Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, you caught me lacking, boy. Oh, man. Follow us on Instagram. MMMtg278. That's for our Magic memes. It's a great page. If you like memes, there it is. And we also have @MTG Miles for budget deck lists and other MTG content like that. I love that one. Not as many people follow it or engage with it, but I just love making the lists and stuff like that. Eventually, we're going to start building the lists that we make on there and putting on this channel, but for right now, it's just a place that you can go check out some budget deck lists that we make. But yeah, that's it. It's not budget. There's budget deck lists and there's other deck lists.
I mean, Instagram is where we excel, apparently.
People love MMMtg 278, and I love that they do. But I do appreciate everyone who's watching this video right now and watch our other videos. We appreciate you the most. But anyway, without further ado, thank you all for watching, and bye.
Bye. Thank you for everything.
Don't snap, but snap anyway. Anyway, bye.